Welcome back to the channel. Man, let me tell y'all, I went on a little vacation to go visit my grandson, and it was way too short. He is just growing. He's trying to walk. He'll be 10 months and 2 days. I plan to go back here shortly for his birthday when he turns 1 year old. I already got it planned out. I already saw it. A little remote control car that'll save his mother back, and when he starts to grow, he could drive the car himself. But anyway, on another note, have you ever took a little time off from work to just escape the monotony, the harassment, the irritated things that work your nerves each day, and soon as you get back, it's like you never even left, and those same intense, stressful feelings return? Well, that was me, day one. And I have been trying to work on my behavior, trying to do better, trying not to have an attitude, trying not to murmur and complain. But the things that they do at work just makes no sense. Do you have that situation where you have people that's over you that just dictate to you and follow orders regardless of how ridiculous it is? Kind of like Congress passing ridiculous laws, in order to find out what's in the bill, we got to pass it, then we can read it, like retarded stuff. But anyway, there's things I would love to share with you, and it is well worth getting a strike. But if I knew they would not remove the video and I would get the strike, I will tell you all that's on my heart in regards to this forced passport vaccination ordeal we're living through right now. It's not forced just yet, but just scanning the headlines and seeing what's going on in France, the uproar that's going on over there. Chick publication was remarking about the mark of the beast system being in place because Macron stated that there will be no buying or selling unless you can prove you took the mark, the jab. Folks, we're almost there. We are down the homeward stretch. The finish line is just over yonder. Just hang in there. We are almost home. And it seems like the closer we get, the more stressful and irritated and agitated I get, because we know the enemy of souls is trying to take as many of us as possible with him to that hellfire that has been prepared for the devil and his angels. It is not for us who have been created in the image of God, but he is determined to have us to go there with him. But that's not my plan. I plan on being in heaven, enjoying what true living is like. What we're dealing with right now, this is not living. I'm just going through the motions each day. But anyway, back to the CDC and COVID-19. I found out that they had on their website something called VAERS. It is a vaccine adverse event reaction, or should I say reporting system, where everybody goes on there and explain or tell what happened to them when they became fully vaccinated, or maybe the first shot, maybe not fully vaccinated, and tell what type of adverse reaction. It's just damning information and they wonder why it is so much vaccine hesitancy. It's because the people are waking up, and more are waking up each day, and we are learning and reading on our own. Thank God for that. I am so proud. I get these glimmers of hope that puts a smile on my face when I see these parents out fighting for their kids at these school board meetings. And I wish I would have brought this magazine home with me today just to share with you some of the crazy things that parents are combating. The craziest thing of all that I read the other night was, I believe it was in New York, where this private school takes a tuition of $55,000 a year, and the parents didn't know anything about the sex education indoctrination that their little ones were undergoing. When I say little ones, I mean like kindergarten, first grade. What were they teaching these kids? How to masturbate. Excuse me, remove your kids. Yes, things of this nature. I mean, can you imagine? These parents were so outraged, and the school board and the people at the school, they were just like, oh, you must have been misinformed. They like, no, we are not misinformed. We know what we read, we know what we heard, what we saw, and we not having it. I'm telling you people, if you are in a 2-parent home, somebody has to sacrifice within that home to protect those babies. Man, I was so happy, to be done with that. The things that my son had to endure with the little flamboyant boys at school. My son is a handsome little fella. He's 21 years old now. I mean, he would come home upset telling me about things that was going on in the classroom. These little flamboyant boys, trying to do things like hold his hand, and when he would complain to the teacher would just laugh. And my response was, okay, if it continues and you told the teacher, you don't want that going on, you don't want those unwanted advances coming your way, then you just gonna have to open a can, and I will be at the school. Don't even worry about getting in trouble. Beat the brakes off of them, basically, is what I was saying. Because these are things that's just unacceptable. And, they think it's cute, they think it's funny, but it's not funny and it's not cute. So this is the divide. As I told you, this gulf between the evil and the good is going to get wider and wider and wider. I was just telling my friend about what's going on in California, the place that I left. Gavin Newsom trying to get this $12 billion bill, talking about great hope for the homeless, basically inviting all the homeless from all over to come there, where they're going to take over these hotels and get these rooms for these homeless people. But these homeless people have mental illness issues. They have health issues. They need more than just a place to lay their head. They need medical attention. They need mental health attention. And what was the strangest thing? And I think this kind of struck a nerve with her, because she asked me, well, I don't believe it, and looking it up is not going to prove a point, because she says, what would his constituency say? And I said, since when do Democrats care about their constituency or their base? They do what they want to do. Defund the police. All these crazy things that they got going on. Open borders. Universal basic income. Everything that's leading us to communism. And then the end of my statement said, Viva la resistance. And then her next comment was, what do you care? You don't live in California anymore. My response back was, yes, I still have family there. And I said, people only seem to care when it's their son, when it's their daughter that's raped and murdered. Then people want to care. So that's how I ended that conversation, and I just left a link for her to read, so she could see that what I am saying about what Gavin Newsom is trying to do is not crazy talk. He's actually trying to pass a $12 billion bill talking about the new hope for the homeless. You know, somebody needs to take the homeless end of the world. California, black people are leaving there in droves, going to all the red states. And I just hope they remember that the things that they voted for, the things that they supported, have taken that state and put it in the condition that it is in today. And it is gradually and quickly declining each day. And I pray to God, for the sake of my family that's still there, that this man is recalled, and hopefully they will get someone in there like Larry Elder that will take care of the people. And this is one thing that the left cannot understand, why Trump has such a following. And even though he is not in office, people still flock to those rallies. 30 and 40 and 50 and 60,000 people lining up to see this man because he took care of the people. He put policies in place that help the American citizens. He put America first, but they don't understand that. The people that we are fighting against within our own country are not America first. See, I'm speaking like a true veteran. True veterans care about their countries. But then you have another side of the black community that will call that slave mentality. You know what slave mentality? Slave mentality is doing the same thing, looking for a different result. These people come out every 4 years, listen to the same lies, and vote the same way each election, and don't nothing change. And then when the policies started kicking in, like right now, we're dealing with growing inflation, right? We're dealing with these gas prices, the prices in the grocery store. I was in the grocery store today. Normally I buy 5 avocados for $5. Guess what? It's $8 now. So now I'm sitting here listening to these people at work complain in my ear. But I said, why are you complaining? This is what you voted for. It's not all about your feelings. It's about the policy. Policy matters. And I hope they hear what I'm saying. Yeah, I was a little ticked, and I had to come on here and vent a little bit, because the last thing at work tonight just really got on my last nerve. I got called over there to my toolbox. Mind you, I had these political cartoons on my toolbox for at least 4 years. So my supervisor tells me he got a complaint. Somebody complained to the plant manager about my political cartoons, and I had to take it down because there is no political speech allowed within the workplace. So you know me, I'm a fighter. So I said, okay. So he pulls out the letter, but he doesn't show me or allow me to see it. Then he puts it back in his pocket just to let me know that it wasn't from him. It was from a higher up. So when I asked him for a copy of the letter, he told me no. I said, okay, I'm going to file a lawsuit. So I took down the political cartoons. I was pissed. So I went searching, because this is like early in the morning. This is like 3 in the morning. I'm searching on the internet in regards to First Amendment rights in the workplace. Of course, if I worked for a private organization, I would have no rights, because that private company can establish whatever they can. But I'm a public employee, a government employee, you know. So some of the things that I received from Just Answer said, you know, some rights, this retired judge, we were conversing back and forth. So he was telling me that some rights can be infringed upon. All rights are not absolute. So we're going back and forth. And I said, even for a public government employee, question mark. So then I said, okay, thank you. All rights are absolute that come from God. But who am I? And that's how I ended my text. Well, my friends, we all have these little battles wherever we are within this United States. It's so disturbing to see what's going down there at the border, and the only thing that keeps running through my mind is Germany. You remember how Germany was overrun, and pretty much there's a whole district to where Germans can't even go? They are not allowed. The police will chase the criminals so far, and when they get to this section of where all these Middle Eastern people stay, they will turn around and go back. These people can go out, stab people, rape people, steal, carjack, do anything. And once they make it back to their little area, the police is just going to turn around and come back. Because if the police go in there, they might not come out alive. And I'm looking at our border. We have people from Middle East, from Haiti, from Africa, from all these different countries coming in. Probably terrorist cells and everything else. These people are not going to be happy until bombs start exploding. Suicide bombers in malls. At these venues where all of these people gather, like boxing matches and things of that nature. And it's all going to be their fault. But on a spiritual note, this goes all back to the Tower of Babel. One language, one tongue. You see, when God confounded the languages, man dispersed because they could not understand each other. They were working their way to heaven on that unfinished tower. And here we are again at the end of times. No borders, one world order. Sorry about that. Before I was cut off, these little cameras and these batteries do not last that long. But as I was saying, back to the Tower of Babel. One language, one tongue. Here we are at the end of time. Things always come full circle, So they're trying to make the United States like what's going on in Germany. The globalists want a borderless society, a one world, new world order. Back to Revelation 13. This is what they want. And this is more evidence and more proof that the Bible is true. The things that has been prophesied hundreds of years ago is coming to fruition, is being fulfilled before our very eyes. And if you have not awakened to this fact, please do your research. Do not be left behind. I am praying for you. I am hoping that you consider these things, because there is nothing in this world that should keep you from missing out on all eternity. That complete and final separation from God. All right, my friends. So that's how I'm going to end it. I pray that you have a good week. And stay prayed up. Stay watchful. And I will see you on the next one.